Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Today, we're going to be doing something slightly different because we are fortunate to have a co-host in order for us to be able to discuss a lot of the topics that surround the Batman game, the Superheroes Fair, and FatNinja is going to be joining me today. And I'm going to be walking him through Batman Arkham City. Now, he knows what Arkham City is. The problem is he's not played it. So we're going to, he's going to live vicariously through us, and he's going to pretty much be, asking questions because he's now going to have a lot, he's going to have access to seeing my gameplay, and pretty much, we're going to be talking about this. So, Fat Ninja, introduce yourself to the Video Game Fight School community. Let's know who you are. Yeah.
All right, cool. What's going on, everybody? This is FatNinja DM, and my mission statement is pretty simple. Basically, just have positive, gaming experience with people, and I've been a dungeon master for Dungeons and Dragons for over 23 years. I'm a big gamer, big comic book buff. Well, I won't say buff. I'm still learning, especially on the DC side of things. But just want to take a quick second to thank Gamby Daddy for having me on here. It's truly an honor and a privilege, and this is just downright fun to come along with you on this trip. Like I said, I'm Fat Ninja DM, chilling like a fat supervillain, chilling with Gamby Daddy. Let's get this.
Nice, nice. Are you live? Are you seeing the gameplay?
Sorry to disappoint you.
Yes, I am, sir.
Okay, cool. So this scene,
It's just a little.
I'm gonna pause real quick and kind of give you a little, kind of a lowdown. Initially, when you look at the reveal of this character, there are these two horns that show up. You think it's Batman, right?
Yeah.
But then no, it's Catwoman. And so that was a really nice, thing, because you're like, oh, just imagine for the very first time you play a game that's titled Batman Arkham Knight. They give you a shadow that looks just like Batman, and then as it's revealed, nope, it's Catwoman. So to me, I just thought that was quite creative from the guys at Rocksteady. They did a very good job in this game. There are Easter eggs all over the place.
Yeah, I definitely see. Well, not the Easter eggs per se right now, but like I said early in the intro, since I'm a dungeon master, I'm always thinking about setting. And just this brief fight here in this room, just look at the rug. It is actually moving while you're kicking these guys' butts.
Oh my gosh, Dude, I've played this part so much. I've never paid attention to that.
And that is just insane. And just seeing the crazy aftermath of what happened here. People from Bethesda, fame, and people that follow them a lot, they talk about this a lot. Environmental storytelling, like what really happened here. Like, you can speculate so many different things that happened in here. Could have just been a outright just somebody gets kidnapped, or did somebody get murdered, or stuff like that. So like you said, the Arkham game, well, this Batman games in general in this generation have just really went above and beyond when it comes to great mechanics, when it comes to combat, and like I said, environmental storytelling. So yeah, I'm definitely pumped up to actually see you play this and just kind of explore things through, like you said, vicariously through you. So yeah, this is really cool, man.
That's cool.
Really
That's cool. That's pretty good. I mean, this is an Easter egg over here, and this Easter egg, it shows up. Don't worry, when we get to the end. Don't go watch any Easter egg videos and ruin it for yourself. But that picture over there does highlight a huge Easter egg that comes at the end of the story. This door is saying open door. Maybe it's
I
locked.
can't leave without cracking
I can't
that
leave without
safe.
cracking the
It's
safe.
the reason
Okay, I
I
never
came
really
here.
have taken the time to walk down there. Maybe I did in the first playthrough. But it's amazing that all the rugs are moving. I've just been walking, putting my feet through the rug, going, no stinking way. I mean, I better get back to playing the game because I can't believe that I'd never seen that before. I've never paid attention to you know, to that
Try and get
aspect
one
of the
over on
game.
me,
So
will you,
that's
huh?
pretty interesting. Pretty
I
interesting
don't
that you
think
pointed that
so.
out. Yeah, look at that huge chip. Like some big, huge data storage is on there, whereas it probably is 20 kilobytes. That's funny.
Wake up, Mr. Wayne. We have much
Yes,
to
this
discuss.
game had a very epic
Strange.
opening.
You won't
You know,
get away with this.
you have this.
I
I'll let you
already
listen to this
have.
small convo. Hear what they're saying.
This is Vicky Vale reporting live from Arkham City, the
So news
controversial
anchor.
super prison built right here in the heart of Gotham.
Starting
In a
out,
few
this is
moments,
significant,
Bruce
by
Wayne
the
will
way.
be live on stage
We're
to
gonna see
explain
this
his
in another
sudden interest
Arkham
in
game.
Gotham politics. The
As
infamous
we
Playboy
kinda walk
millionaire
through
has
the
never
series.
been one
It's
to...
billionaire, Vicky. Millionaires are so last year.
It's kind of funny that as soon as I see Vicky Vale on the screen, I'm going to totally date myself here, but only thing I can think of is the Batman soundtrack when Prince made a couple songs from the soundtrack, and the one song he had, you know, say Vicky Vale, Vicky Vale, you know.
I've never even heard that song. I never even really listened too much to Prince. I mean, I knew some of his hits, but I guess his music was, you know, was a little. What was this? That's what my thinking was. But then the tracks that I did like were just the tracks that I kind of, you know, honed down. I never bothered, you know, listening to anything more. So I never really heard that before. So he did make soundtracks from the Batman theme.
Yeah. He didn't make a whole lot of songs for movies, but that I think it was the Batman from the early '90s, the one that had oh shoot, I'm trying to remember which one that was playing Batman at the time. Oh man, I can't remember. I'm too old, but
I feel I should thank you.
yeah. The soundtrack for that particular Batman movie was pretty sweet.
Now that we
That's
have you,
good. That's good.
Protocol 10.
If anybody in the comments can remember which Batman was being played, please put it in the comments. Like I said, I'm old, so I forget. So yeah, help me out in the comments.
Secret.
Okay. So this scene, you know, if you just leave the scene and you don't push any button, you just, you know, you're just like, okay, they do it in a first person sense. So you can look around, and what happens is you finally look and see him. There's a mirror in front of you. And Bruce Wayne, you are in chains. So they say escape. So you gotta move the chair and tilt your weight on it. So it's a game mechanic by itself. You know, and you fall down.
What the hell are you doing?
And there's an alarm.
Think we wouldn't hear you?
So Brucey counters that guy.
Help me!
Snags his big chip from his cell phone. Eats the butt of the gun and some screen. And then boom. In fact, it's one of the best opening scenes that I've seen for anything Batman. Like, he starts out with all the odds against him. Like, what is he doing in some random criminal jail?
Right. And it's really funny because, like, that first guy that Bruce took out, you know, what is he going to say at the, sappy bad guys anonymous meeting when he gets fired? Because, like, dude, you got beat up by Bruce Wayne while he was handcuffed. What is wrong with you?
So they tell you to go to, and these are some cool things that I learned. They tell you to go to line A or so, right? You try to go to like line B or something, the wrong line. It stops you But if you try to go past that line, I think this guard hits you. Oh, he doesn't. I thought he hit. Oh, there it is. He hit, yeah. If you try to go the wrong way, yeah, he bumps you in the face. Like, go to right lane. It's just some cool things that I've learned from playing them multiple times.
Wayne, get your ass up here.
Bruce Wayne, you're on.
I'm just liking how all the scattered paper and stuff is on the ground. Like, it just makes it that much more immersive when you're speaking about Gotham, because you know everybody always looks at Gotham because you know of how the place is portrayed as this dank, dark, and dirty place. You know, it's like it's shown everywhere. Like, unless you're in a specific area that is not Gotham, like somebody's rich, you know, mansion, like, you know, Wayne Manor or something like that, you get that sense of dread and just eerie uncomfortableness. Like, I mean, just here in this scene right here, you see how dark it is, but you still see highlights of what's going on, and then the conversation, and then just a simple environment is just like, ugh, man, you feel like you're in an old dirty gym shoe from like when you were in high school or something, just like really nasty.
Yes, very, very much so. Now, this version of the game, I don't know if you said it, it's on PC, right? And one of the really interesting things about this version of the game is I first played this game on the PlayStation 3, and it's interesting to see how the game actually, you know, the game does look on PC from when I played it then, and how textures and detail are way better, you know. So I think I played Return to Arkham, which is the game remastered for the PS4. Took a bunch of the Arkham games, the 3 made by Rocksteady, and put them in one package. And that one looked good, it looked decent, but nothing up to the detail of this game. And this beginning part 2, man, they did a good job. They did such a good job. Well, they'd set the standard from the game before this one, so the bar was so high, they had to top it. And this game did top that first game. It really did.
Right.
This opening scene is so good.
Well,
yeah, look at him.
let's just call this good old-fashioned revenge.
And like the caricature of the Penguin, he's just got that creepy, almost outer worldly look, like almost like a warlock or something. Like you expect him like to cast a curse on you or something, because he's just so creepy looking, dude. Like, I mean, at his core, Penguin is nothing but a, you know, fat, chubby old man with a high intellect, you know, stuff like that. But just how he looks in that scene right there, it's like, ugh, kind of shakes you. Yeah.
And they have that little crease on his face, like, you know, he had seen some traumatic event anyways.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how they have it. You see the way Batman broke out of his chains? One of the most epic freeing things. Sometimes I just play the beginning just for that scene.
Right.
That's really cool. And then there he is.
I can't
I
contact
think you can
Alfred
go
from
to him.
down
I think
here.
you can leave him
I need
alone.
to get higher.
The Penguin. You can leave him alone and keep going on your way, but usually I like to go knock him out. Just because. I don't know why. I think like all Batman's villains, like, you know, they always have to gang up on him. You know, they always have to do that. So I just feel like it's unfair. And whenever he has an advantage, and not to be dirty or silly, but, you know,
Alfred,
pretty much,
have you got my
pretty
location?
much has to take the opportunity to make sure that they're not like a threat.
I need an immediate
but
drop
he's still
on the roof
like
of the Ace Chemicals
the
building.
ideal superhero.
I'm on my way there now.
Of course. You know, think Spider-Man, but at the same time think, okay, whoever wrote Batman wrote him to be different in his own. The way they set him up different from Spider-Man, but ideally he is still like Spider-Man. Like, he's got this humility about him. It looks like it's proud, but he's just
Not
a broken
exactly.
boy.
Although I did
That's
get
just
some
putting
more
on
than
all
one
these
side to
facades.
Hugo Strange.
To make himself look kind of tough.
Good. He knows
Whereas
that
the
Bruce
other
Wayne
one
is Batman.
is Peter
He
Parker.
also told
He's
me that
also
something
somewhat
called
of a broken
Protocol
boy.
10 will make him
But,
famous.
you know,
I can't
he
leave
just
Arkham
has
City
a
until I
regular
find
life. I
out
guess
what
Stan
it
Lee did a
is.
good job. Stan Lee said he wrote Spider-Man to be like the everyday guy. You know, my shoes are worn out. You know, Bruce Wayne is written to be the very one-off story. It's just super one-off, but it still resonates
Right on time.
with just the regular guy out there. Like,
Right.
yeah, I can relate to Batman. Can you though? I think I can. You know, it's like, okay, yeah, I think I can. Even
Oh
though he's
yeah.
a billionaire, you know.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's where we see
Definitely.
it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. And you know, that's what really tells you when a comic book character is written well. You may not like how they look, like their costume to you might be trash, right? But there's something in the character's personality
I took an encryption
that
key from a
still
Tiger Dog.
draws you in.
I'm
It's
going to
like,
hack
you know
into
what,
their
I really
communications.
don't, because like me, like I like Batman, but I'm not like a big fan of Batman. But just the simple fact of his dogged determination, like he just refuses to give up. And I mean, it almost works to a fault for Batman for most times, but just the simple fact that he does not give up, it's like failure that doesn't appear in my vocabulary. You know, he just, you know, that's just how he operates. And like I said, sometimes it works to a fault, but if all superheroes got to that point to where they're about to
Doesn't sound
break,
good.
well, then it wouldn't be no superhero universe anymore because all the bad guys would just eventually win. It's like, okay, well, we just keep on beating
If
them
there's
down
one
until they
person in
finally
Arkham
give
City who
up.
knows what's
Batman
really
don't
going
do
on, it's
that.
her.
Very
So,
true. Very true.
yeah,
Which is
yeah.
it's
I need to
interesting that
find
you said that.
Catwoman now.
Because I think we can take a little segue to look at just real quick, the new Gotham Knights game that is coming off. It's coming, out soon. Now, the Batman franchise, in terms of Arkham, has been developed by two Warner Brothers studios. Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, and Arkham Knight were developed by Rocksteady, whereas Arkham Origins was developed by Warner Brothers Montreal, and it was actually developed to give Rocksteady some time to finish up Arkham Knight. I think they were pumping out these Batman games. They were they're very lucrative, so they wanted the fans to kind of still be chilling. So they kind of took this game, gave it over to Warner Brothers Montreal. Warner Brothers Montreal just pretty much took the assets and flipped it. So Warner Brothers Montreal had been working on all these games, there were rumors, but then finally we got Gotham Knights, which the preview of Gotham Knights, the premise was that Batman is dead. And the way he sounded in that clip is like, if you hear this, if you're receiving this message, then you know I'm dead. Like, I just felt there is no way that Batman is dead. And I think a lot of fans felt that too, because if this is the same Batman you just described, he sounded a little like, it's the end of the road for me now. So I just think that if they really want to do Batman right, they just probably have that as kind of a psych. Somewhere down the road, Batman is, thought to be dead according to the story more than anything. Rather than say, oh, Batman is truly, truly dead, because we want to fulfill our own universe and our own idea or imagination of the story, if you get what I mean. So that's really interesting that Batman as this, and even if you're not really a big Batman fan, you see this is the Batman that you're seeing. So it's interesting that fans are also seeing what you're seeing and looking and saying, well, how is this same Batman? How's he dead? And just the way he gave the message, I guess it was a good call to action nonetheless, but it better be a whoops, I thought I was dead too kind of deal,
Yeah.
That's what I think it needs to be at the end of the day. Then fans are gonna be like, all right, we were scared, man, because Bruce Wayne is supposed to be this, overly tough cookie, and for them to say something like, oh, he's dead, it just really, it was weird. I think I think the message could have been a lot more, make sure you do this, like, at the end, like, kind of charge them like a soldier type deal. But it seemed a little too casual for the Batman that we know. Batman's super intense. So I guess
Yeah.
you'll have to watch that trailer again just to kind of say, oh, okay, I see what, maybe it's just me, or maybe other people may agree. I don't know.
Yeah, you said that. Oops, I thought I was dead too. Yeah, he had somebody slipped a roofie in his back cocktail or something, so he thought he was dead too.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I really thought I was out. Yeah, sorry guys. Give me my phone, give me my little encrypted message back. I better make another code black or something.
Right.
But yeah, here's Two-Face. They introduce him. This game does have a really nice pace. They introduce first Catwoman, then Batman, then immediately we get Two-Face in a very strange. Catwoman is in a bind, so they quickly circle. They do a full circle, bringing back everything that we just seen in the beginning of the game. So that's really cool. So Act 1 is very, very, so far, the plot's strong, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think what really strengthens it, and a lot of people may not agree, but seeing Bruce as being Bruce. Because, like, so many, it doesn't happen all the time now because, people have seen it so many times, Batman is Bruce Wayne, stuff like that. But a lot of people sometimes they become disassociated with Bruce Wayne as a part of Batman because they're always seeing, Batman saving the world, or Batman saving Gotham, or Batman's taking out, this existential crisis all by himself, or he's, stuff like that. And a lot of people sometimes forget that, like you said earlier, Bruce Wayne, he's a broken boy, and this is how he came to grips with all of his fears, is becoming the Batman and stuff like that. But you can't forget that Bruce Wayne is an integral part of Batman. That they're not two separate entities inhabiting the same body. They're the same person. And Bruce Wayne's fears and anger and everything manifests when he puts on the cape and cowl. So, just something to think about.
And it's good that you're saying this stuff, because I never really have taken the time to appreciate how much of DC fans, Rocksteady, the studio that has done this, how much of DC fans they are. Like, they also, Rocksteady announced a Suicide Squad game. And in that Suicide Squad game, they talked about the game being in the Arkham universe. And, to be very frank, I wasn't looking forward to a Suicide Squad game until I started to look a little further, and I said, these guys sound very enthusiastic about the source material. I wanted to keep that source material, very true to the the concept, or the themes in the main source material anyways. And you saying that Bruce Wayne is an integral part, and them showing him, just makes it much more of a solid and grounded aspect. So I guess we've waited years to see Rocksteady bring a game, and 2022 is the scheduled release date for that game. It'll probably be another wait, but I can guarantee you that fans are absolutely stoked to see what they have in store.
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure. Because when you get a chance to get that comic book itch finally scratched, it's definitely gratifying, because you know how many superhero games that were completely trash. I'm talking to you, Superman 64. We went by so many years having a small smattering of cool superhero games, off the top of my head, Ultimate Alliance, that was good, but it was like, it was still something lacking from it, because always looking from a top down at your favorite character, yes, you're playing your favorite superheroes, yeah, that's cool, but when you're playing the Batman games in this setup, once again, it's that full immersion, the environmental storytelling, the other cast of characters, his rogues gallery. It is really extensive, and that what makes Batman, because it's not all about the Joker. Yes, it is
It
his
is.
main, yeah, but it can't be the Joker all the time. So with his rogues gallery, it kind of just fills it out because if every comic book he was always defeating the Joker, it was like, he wouldn't have that mystique. Like, you defeat the Joker, he comes back and he got this elaborate plan. Well, you can't do that over a weekend in Arkham.
It was
You gotta have time to plan
You're
and
not
gather
safe here.
resources. So
No one
then the other rogues step in and fill in time until he comes back with this crazy plan to destroy Gotham or whatever he's gonna do. So that what also makes a good superhero, not only something that you can attach to draw you in, the rogues gallery.
Yes.
And are they competent? Because of course you got to have your weak B level guys. They can't be all AAA. So you got to have your run of the mill, and then you got your mediaries, and then you got your top tier. So, and I think with Batman's rogue gallery, all those levels are sufficiently covered, and there's enough of variety too. So they, like, several of them don't seem the same, and that's also important in a superhero rogues gallery also.
Very, very true. Very true. And I like how they use the segue of the Joker's tactics. So there's a sniper that tries, in this scene that we're seeing here, a sniper tries to hit Catwoman. Batman detects the laser, pushes her out of the way, and she gets upset or whatever it is. And next thing you know, she leaves. But it gives the opportunity to introduce reintroduce Batman's detective ability. He's got that detective ability since Arkham Asylum, and so it's like fans are like, oh, what does Batman have in this game? They're coming at it looking like, okay, what is he gonna show us? And Rocksteady is like, oh, don't forget the detective vision ability that we introduced in our other game, and fans are probably like, oh, we have this. So they really do a good job to put all those aspects together in this game. And especially, I haven't beaten Arkham Asylum, but just seeing the way they've treated this game, and how they kind of did fan service to the Arkham Asylum people who played it, who loved it. You can definitely say yes, they wanted this to resonate with their fans as a sequel or as a game that followed that other game. So that was really neat, the way they reintroduced all of that.
I think so.
But anyways, this is this is the first act of this is basically the first act of the game. I think this we can call this Act 1. The thing is, I'm not really good at identifying it, so I might also be wrong too. But it feels like it because we started out with Catwoman and her shenanigans, and then we see Batman in trouble, which has then now led to Batman getting himself out of trouble and also helping Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman, and now he's about to start investigating because he just got wind of the Joker, which I think is leading now into or going to lead into the second act. So I appreciate y'all for joining in. Thank you very much, FatNinja. This has been a blast. It's basically blown my expectations as to how much insight you have, and we intend on running this game through. Maybe to a point. If I get bored, we'll fire up another Arkham game. And I mean, there are 4 of them, so we should have enough game to talk about as we lead up to the release of Gotham Knights. The developers making that game, they have big shoes to fill. And this is a legacy that these guys set back in the day. I mean, when technology was still quite primitive, when it came to game development, when it came to graphics and all that stuff that you could put in game engines and technological power to run these kinds of games, and then still have these games get optimized to be able to do well even on much more advanced machines today. It's just impressive.
Absolutely. I'm not excited for Arkham Knights, but as a comic book fan, I hope it releases and has just like everybody's expectations or low expectations I hope they have them all blown away. So, you know, I'm not one of these people that's going to hate on the game just because I'm not a big fan of it. Because if a game is good and it's somewhere at least close to your wheelhouse of games that you play, guess what? Everybody wins.
That's very
So,
true. That's very, very
yeah.
true.
Yep.
So, I guess we're gonna cut the feed now. Thank you guys for hanging with us. We appreciate y'all. Leave comments. Leave some feedback. Tell us, you know, what more you'd like to see. If there are, you know, any gameplay missions or boss fights that you want us to basically kind of hammer down on and comb through with the fine comb, we'll be happy to do that. You know, just to make sure that you guys kind of see our perspective on it. So, we appreciate y'all. Y'all take it easy, and hopefully we'll see you in another video